Why is it that it's so easy to consistently overeat, doom scroll, but it is so hard to work out and maintain promises to yourself to actually reach your potential? After I dropped out of high school to pursue content creation full time, I started to post 3 videos per week instead of once per month. I've been doing this for months now. I also walk, meditate, do yoga, run every single day consistently since I was 14 years old. Now I'm 17. And I realized something. Consistency comes down to these 5 key habits. So if you're ambitious and you want to stay committed to your goals, then listen closely. So first key to consistency is actually a controversial one, which is creating a template of a higher version of yourself. This is actually important because the easiest way to build habits and stay consistent with them is not by force. Because if you have never been a gym person, let's say, and you suddenly decide that you're going to go to the gym 3 times per week, and for the first few weeks, you are consistent because you're motivated to do this new thing, but then slowly but surely, after you start to skip it because you're not motivated anymore and you're trying to force yourself, which is making it worse, and you get upset with yourself and feel so bad for not being consistent. Well, instead of focusing on your goal, thinking, oh, I need to do this, so I'm going to finally become someone who goes to the gym. Instead of doing this, switch the order and start by becoming and believing that you're the type of person who is consistent naturally when it comes to going to the gym. And you're going to realize that it's going to be so easy for you to literally constantly show up even though you're not motivated, even though you don't feel like it. Because think about it, all these people who have been going to the gym for 1 year, 5 years, they already see themselves as gym bros who constantly show up to gym no matter how they feel that day because it's who they are and you're building it at the start, so it's going to be easier for you to just show up. And the goal is to obviously be as specific as possible about your higher self if you want to create your dream life. So ask yourself, what does that higher version of yourself do in the morning, on the weekends? What is their night routine, morning routine? What type of people they're surrounded with? What type of goals and mindset do they have? By doing so, your mind now has a specific picture in mind of who you want to become and actually who you are already. Make sure to remind yourself that you are already that version of yourself. You're not becoming her or him, but you already are. So every time you don't want to go to the gym or start a business because it's uncomfortable and scary, remember who the F you are. You're the type of person who pushes through discomfort, who tries new things that are scary, who is consistent with going to the gym. Every time you remind yourself of who you are and do the actual thing that you're scared or don't feel like doing, the more you're upgrading your self-concept. That's how you reprogram your subconscious mind into believing that you are that type of person. When it comes to consistency, here's what most people miss. They don't make the habit survive the bad days. I think that a lot of us have this misconception of the fact that we need to be perfect every single day, do our morning routine perfectly. And if we skip it, then our entire day is ruined. We have this all or nothing mindset, which I also had. But what about the bad days? When you're in your period, if you're a girl, or when you're sick, or you need to go to an important event, so you need to skip your morning routine, let's say. And that's when 2 things come in. The first is creating a to-do list, morning routine for the days where you have low energy. So instead of going to the gym and running and doing hard, heavy workouts, you're going to just go for a walk for 20 minutes. Do yoga, stretching. If you're in your period or you're just sick, because consistency is all about showing up and not all or nothing. Not skipping the gym entirely, but replacing it with a easier workout that fits the energy level that you have that day. So this was the first one. The second one, which is even more important, cutting the less important goals for the days where you are busier. Let's say, I don't know, you have more homework than usual, so you don't have a lot of time to do your night routine or morning routine. So you just cut, I don't know, meditating and journaling so you can replace it with homework. If you want to go to a huge event that is going to last for the majority of the day, then figure out what is the most important goal that you need to do, like what is going to move the needle of your most important goals. For me, the most important goal that I must do every single day is content creation. Like I can perfectly skip my morning routine, night routine, but if you don't even have the time to do your most important goal that day, because maybe you need to go to a wedding or to a huge party that lasts the entire day, which leads to the third tip, create a bonus day. So every single Sunday, you need to have a day every single week dedicated to relaxation where you do nothing. And that day can actually be used in recovering what you didn't do, I don't know, on Monday because you were at that wedding the whole day. And there's nothing that you're going to lose because that Monday was actually your rest day because you didn't do any of your goals. So let's say that your typical rest day was Sunday. Then on Sunday, you're going to recover the goals that you didn't do on Monday. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to still do things when you're not motivated. And here's where the fourth tip is going to save you. Like this has worked every single time, which makes me start and finish the tasks even when I don't feel like it. You know, these moments where literally the last thing you want to do is that task. Let's say your homework or editing a video or doing that heavy workout. So every time you don't want to do something, just implement the 3-minute rule. Because what if I tell you that the only thing that is preventing you from doing that task is actually starting? Starting is literally the hardest thing before you reach a flow state. Like every time I don't want to edit a video and I applied the 3-minute rule, I'm just going to do this for 3 to 5 minutes and I can stop later. But then every time I do this, after 2 minutes, I enter in this flow state where I actually want to continue to edit that video. So it was just a matter of starting. But then this is the one you keep ignoring. If you want to make consistency way easier, well, this is going to only work if you understand this, which leads to the fifth tip. You need to understand that in order to make a habit more automatic and easier to start is placing it after or before a habit that you already are doing. So let's say you already have mastered the habit of brushing your teeth and cleaning your face in the morning, and you want to add a new habit, let's say meditating. Then you're going to add meditating before you brush your teeth or after you wake up. This is called habit stacking, and the reason why this works is because when you stack a new habit with an old one that you already have mastered, it's gonna be way easier to you to associate the both together, because you know that after you wake up, you are just going to meditate for 10 minutes, you know, instead of placing it in the afternoon where you are just doing nothing or playing video games, watching videos, which is going to be way more difficult to do, which trust me, because this is something that I used to do. If you want to take your life seriously at such a young age, then you need to tolerate being overlooked. And this is one of the 5 things to master that I'm going to talk about in this video. So see you there, Dreamaliner!